Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is finally here. Oh wow. Saw it this opening weekend. Wow. That was a movie experience. I mean, the emotions I was going through watching this movie were just up and down. Sad to happy to laughing, sad again. Look, I love all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So, if I were to rank them, I guess, this third movie is definitely in between Volume 1 and Volume 2. Better than Volume 2, almost as good, if not better than Volume 1. This movie's insane. So at this point, we are now 32 movies in this cinematic universe, this Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it's fair to say that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is definitely the most hardcore of all these movies. James Gunn really just went all out for this epic ending to these characters that he loves so much, and he got all of us to love so much. It was just the perfect ending, and as a hardcore Guardians of the Galaxy fan myself, this was just about the best Guardians movie and ending to these characters' stories that I could have asked for, that I could have wanted to see. I mean, this did it. It has all the best action of all the Guardians movies, the best character work of all the Guardians movies, which that is really saying something. The last two Guardians movies, it's all about character, and you really, after seeing the movies, you really just get behind these characters. Or not even after seeing the movies, like just instantly during the movies, seeing them for the first time. You're behind these characters, you're with them, you feel for them. But Volume 3 is definitely the best. And what was most important to James Gunn with this third movie was finally delving into the backstory of Rocket. Actually seeing where he comes from, what he's been through. And oh my God. Rocket has such a horrific backstory, and it easily tops probably both Infinity War and Endgame when it comes to the emotion. This is a truly heartbreaking story that's told for Rocket. He really is just a tragic character. Rocket's life certainly is a tragedy, and James Gunn knew it was important to tell this story about Rocket because he is a complex character who's had a complex and sad history. So by the end of this movie, when their final effort to go up against the High Evolutionary, you're 100% behind Rocket. Not just all the Guardians, but particularly Rocket, because this is where he came from. It's finally his chance to rid this horrible memory of his dark past. Finally, once and for all, he could finally become what he wants to be. And that's the theme for all the Guardians in this movie. So like I said, this movie has the best character work, it's got the best, probably some of the best visual work. Definitely the camera work is something else. I mean, so the camera work in this movie, James Gunn obviously took a lot of notes from the Suicide Squad from when he made that movie and applied it to Volume 3 when he finally came back to Marvel and he finally got to do Volume 3. He definitely learned a lot from the Suicide Squad, and it shows in this movie in how particularly also in how he shot Volume 3. The shots in this movie are insane. The cinematography is just unbelievable. Some of the shots, there are shots in this movie that just look like comic book panels in motion. And the best example, in my opinion, is in one of my favorite scenes in the movie, probably the most unbelievable action scene in any of the Guardians movies and pretty much in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. That hallway scene at the end. Look, not only is that shot excellently, not only is it choreographed unbelievably well, but for me personally, that's just about anything I could ask for in a Guardians movie. That was pure Guardians of the Galaxy fan service, but also a beautiful coming together moment. You know now, finally, the Guardians are fully united after all the hardship that they experienced in this movie. And in the last two movies. Oh, and the Avengers movies, I'll count those two. But it also works as just unbelievably a great fan service. I just sat there and just took it all in. You know, it was those 3 minutes or however long that scene was, it felt like forever. It was perfect. 9 years I've been in love with these characters, so to see them fully united just in this one scene alone, in that unbelievable one-take hallway scene. I mean, it was just perfect. That's all I can say. Perfect. Anyone out there who's a fellow Guardians of the Galaxy fan, that was it right there. That was it for us. It was just the best experience. This whole movie was a great experience, but that one scene. And just the ending too, oh my god. And just all these emotional moments, particularly towards the end. The last 45 minutes of the movie, I just started bawling. Because not only did none of the characters get killed off, not one main character got killed off, but they ended their story just about the right way for these characters to end their story. They go their separate ways. The Guardians aren't broken up. There's still a thing, particularly with the new team up, which we expected. Adam Warlock is now a Guardian of the Galaxy. I can't wait to see where that goes. He's definitely got which, by the way, his character in this movie, it's a good start, a good jumping point to start with this version of Adam Warlock. Very different from the comic books. There's no soul gem that he has or anything like that. There's a lot of great growth to be had with his character. But anyway, going back to the end, not only is there still a version of the team, but some of the older team members like Star-Lord, Mantis, they're going their separate ways. They are still a family, but they know that it's time to not run from certain aspects of their past that's always bothered them. Like Star-Lord, he's finally returning to Earth, meeting up with his grandfather. He's not running away from his home planet anymore. He's gonna go back and reconnect with it. And that's just the perfect ending right there for Star-Lord. We will see him again though, according to that tag after the last post-credits scene when he's sitting there eating breakfast with his grandfather as his grandfather reads the newspaper talking about Kevin Bacon being abducted from Earth. There's that tag, that text saying the legendary Star-Lord will return, and my face just lit up. Now here's the thing, I have been keeping up with a lot of news in the last 6 years since Volume 2 came out about Volume 3, about the direction of where that movie's gonna go. It's been, just that alone was an emotional roller coaster following, because this movie has been on a tough road to finally to get made and to come out, and finally it's been made and it's finally out now. It's unbelievable. We finally have it. So, and this movie, with this perfect ending, with all the characters finally finding their each individual purpose, it's just the perfect ending. Absolutely the perfect ending for probably any character in the MCU. So I am not in a hurry. We'll obviously see a few of these characters again. Karen Gillan has expressed interest in wanting to play Nebula again, which is fantastic. Star-Lord has been teased already that he will come back, and Chris Pratt says that he will come back if it's with the right script. So I'm not in a hurry to know where the future direction of these characters is going to go, because this was it. After all this anticipation leading up to this movie, it's perfect. I can finally breathe a little bit easier knowing that none of these characters died and they're all in a great place now, finally. with themselves, especially Rocket. Rocket's finally embraced the raccoon part of his name. Rocket Raccoon. He's finally embraced the raccoon. Great character work, honestly. James Gunn. What a freaking genius. So, yeah, that's it. This movie's an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, this movie, I haven't stopped thinking about this movie since I've seen it. It's really stuck with me. Perfect ending. And I'll see you at the next react.